All right, we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
That would make me terrible, Troy.
And I'm Justin beheading.
Exactly. And unfortunately, treacherous Trista cannot join us tonight. She's having technical issues, but she is here in spirit. And we will get her 13.
I feel her good vibes in the air.
Yes.
As do I.
Yes, I was looking forward to her. It's gonna be weird though, because we normally start with her on the number 13.
I don't.
So
we'll have to start with the youngest.
That's true. That's right. Oh, so, by the way, we're going to do the 13 best villains of the decade.
I thought we were just going to list them and then make everybody figure it out.
That would be like Jeopardy. We just have 13 and the people guess like, what is? And they're like, nope.
It's like, who are these people that they're talking about?
I like this idea though.
The answer is...
For wrestling fans out there, every year they do the PWI 500, which is Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 500 wrestlers. We could do the 500, but I think 13 is probably a better idea.
On a side note on that, I have to say, I'll give you props for going through all 500 on the In Your Head show.
I thought it would be very funny.
It was very funny.
It would take like 4 hours to
But no, it was still pretty funny. Just sometimes the Japanese wrestlers and the way you would pronounce a name. So it was, you weren't, familiar with the characters themselves. So.
Then we're gonna talk about horror movies, but
yes.
There's some bullshit on that PWI 500 because some of the people I never heard of, and then I looked them up, and the number 500 had never had a match. Doesn't wrestle anywhere. They're like a trainee in somewhere. I'm like, come on. Got to be like an active wrestler that's better than someone who's trained.
Yeah, you would think.
But none of that here. We take this very serious. So we're gonna.
So my list has to be like things that have actually been in the.
Right. It can't be made up.
Wait a second. I've got to like.
It can't be just an idea you had.
Oh man,
cool villain.
There was a guy I drew like a few, years back.
Right.
Son of a
like a planned movie that was canceled.
Yeah.
All right. So 13, we're going to start with Justin.
All righty. So my number 13 is, and admittedly, I did have to do some research on these because I can remember a lot of these names or even the villains themselves, but Brandon Breyer from Brightburn.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
that's a good pick. I actually have that in my honorable mentions. That's a really good movie. Like, it didn't make my top 13 movies, but it is a great villain.
Yep.
It is. It's kind of one of those that, even though I did really enjoy when I saw it, I actually kind of forgot about it for a little bit. Pops in here and there, but then I was just kind of looking down the list on Google, and I was like, oh, yeah, that movie. That was good. That was a interesting take, having a villainous Superman as a kid. That's great.
Yeah, it totally works. It was a really unique movie. I remember when they mentioned it, and I was like, "Well, how do you do a horror version of Superman? This sounds strange." And they just totally did it. That's what the movie was. It was the idea if a young Superman came to Earth, and instead of being for truth, justice, and the American way, what if they turned to the dark side?
Yeah. No, definitely, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially it had some great gory moments.
It was a cool take. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Trista just made a quick appearance here, but didn't quite connect, so she's still trying. So hopefully we.
Okay.
Yeah.
If everyone that believes in Trista claps.
Adam Parks is here in the chat. A big shout out to Adam.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Also, big thanks to Ashley, Ashley, our new reviewer on the website. She's got a lot of reviews, and she just reviewed. I'll have it up after the show. Smoke and Mirrors, the new documentary on Tom Savini, who will be on the show next week.
We love some Savini. That sounds excellent.
As do I. He signed my Dawn of the Dead poster.
Oh, so awesome.
Ooh.
All right, so great number 13. My number 13 is the family. It's just the whole family from Derelicts, which is one of my favorite movies I saw on the festival scene. It took a couple years to get distribution. I think it just got distribution just a couple months ago. It's one of the few horror movies that takes place during Thanksgiving, and I love it. It's a fairly short movie, shorter than most features, but it's really streamlined, and it's got a great family dynamic. It has like the quote unquote good family, like the normal family, and it's a home invasion movie of this group of mismatched people that aren't necessarily related, but they're their own family. And then they have a big Thanksgiving dinner together, and a lot of awfulness happens. But really fun movie. It's dark, but it's also funny. And there's some really good dialogue. And I just really liked what I liked about it. I liked all the characters. There's no like throwaway characters. So the family and Daryl.
Good.
I'll have to look into it because this is actually my first time hearing of it.
Yeah, it's not, it's I think a really underrated movie. And like I said, I saw it at Boston Underground Film Festival, and it for a while, because I always talk about it's really cool going to the festivals, and then you see the movies, and then a lot of times they'll announce they're coming to Shudder or whatever. And this was one that for a few years didn't really ever go anywhere, and then it just got distribution recently. But I love it.
I'll have to look that one up too, Neal. I know you've talked about.
Yeah, I did. And then I liked it so much, I interviewed basically the whole cast of separate interviews. They're up on the website. So if you want to sit and listen to like 13 hours of interviews.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah. All right, you're number 13, Troy.
My number 13 would be higher on my list if the show itself was better. But it's Charlie Manx from Nosferatu. And great character. And I think the actor does a really good job with him, but the show is just not very good, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But still, the character's great. And if anybody gets a chance to read the book instead of watching the show, that's my advice.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook recently.
But still a great evil character.
I was catching up on all the old classic King books and a lot of Clive Barker stuff and Exorcist, a lot of classic horror novels, Dracula, Frankenstein, and people really suggested it, so I listened to it. And yeah, I loved it. I've not watched the show yet. By the way, I want to say I don't have any shows on my 13, but I do have some on honorable mentions because I wasn't sure if they included it or not. But I don't know why they.
Yeah, I put some TV characters on, and I do have also a few from my honorable mention as well. But he would have been higher on my list if the show was better.
Okay. Yeah, I only watched the first episode and I wasn't into it, but I had not read the book at that time either, so I couldn't really follow what was happening. But you shouldn't have to
really
know
hate the show then.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to know the source material to follow a movie or TV show anyway.
Exactly.
All right. Number 12, Justin.
All right, so my number 12 is Lucille Sharp from Crimson Peak.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Favorite. I'm outvoted this time. I know Trista and I were not big fans, but 2 out of 3 this week.
It's true.
Oh yeah, so you better watch yourself, Mr. Jones.
I'm all in red.
All right.
Fair enough.
I'm going to give this a second viewing. I only watched it once.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, so I went to see that one twice in theaters when it came out. It was that good for me. I loved it.
I know a lot of people.
It's just such a cool visual movie too.
No, definitely.
Jackson McCord says hello. Hello, Jackson.
Hello, Jackson.
Number 12 on my list is maybe an odd one because I don't even know if it's really a horror movie, but Big Ronnie from The Greasy Strangler.
Nice.
Very fun. Makes me laugh. It's just one of the oddest movies. It's to me, it's an inspiring movie because it's so strange. It's like I would like to make something this someday. The Greasy Strangler. So Big Ronnie and The Greasy Strangler. A great performance. Actually, an ensemble cast, I would say.
Oh yeah.
And a cheap plug. He's the co-star of my first produced film.
Nice.
Which we're actually finishing up. So hopefully in 2022 it'll be released. You're number
I look
12.
forward to it.
I do too.
My number 12 is Lola from The Loved Ones. It's a
That's a
cool
good-
Australian flick.
Yeah.
And she's a great, like, just crazy villainous. And if anyone hasn't seen the movie, check it out, though. I really can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah, it's great. I remember our old reviewer, Jason Mitten, the headless critic, before when he still watched movies. Now he apparently hates horror movies. This is odd, but that was one of his favorites, and he sent it to me for my birthday, Christmas, and it took a long time for me to watch it. I think, though, honestly, he sent me a version because at the time it was only in Australia, I think, so I actually couldn't watch it on any of my machines. But
so it's a region, whatever.
Yeah. And so I've seen it since then, though. So I was late to the game, but it is a great horror movie.
Yeah.
And I still need to get around to it myself. I've been meaning to.
You'll like it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think I will too. I was sold on the trailers way back in 2012, which makes me wonder why didn't I just try and track it down to watch it?
Right.
But
Yeah.
It is weird, though. I don't think I've ever seen it on Shudder or anything like that.
I haven't seen it on there
I
either.
I think like somebody would pick that up.
It was on something, but sometimes things go to Shudder and they're on there for like, I don't say forever, but for a long time. And sometimes there's things that are on there and leave really fast. It was on some streaming site because that's how I watch it. I'm not positive which one it was. So.
Okay.
This was like a couple years ago, though, so I don't know where it is right now. There's also a website, I forget the name of it, but it's like where to watch or something, and like it'll tell you all the places you can either rent or watch it streaming.
Well, that's handy.
Any movie, yeah, it is very cool. So what was that? 12?
Yes.
Wow.
Number 11. Jackson says fun flick. I believe he meant Greasy Strangler, but I'm not positive. Number 11, Jason.
The Armitages from Get Out. Just the whole family.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That they make an appearance on my list in a way. Like at first I had them higher, but I was like, I mean, they are great villains, but it's more like a really great movie. So I didn't know where to put them on the list, but they are, because I would have the movie itself higher, but them as villains, like they are good villains. So
yeah, they're not the highest caliber for sure.
Yeah, but that's a good pick. I have a Red from Us on my number 11.
Excellent choice.
The only reason it's probably she's not higher is I think that my only problem with the movie is the end when she just explains everything, and I think it's like the only mistake in the movie, because like I don't think it's a movie that you want like a clear explanation,
right?
Anyway, because it's not like I don't think it really works. It's more a movie I think you should watch and kind of just get the idea of what all this means, is like trying to explain it in practical terms. Otherwise, it'll probably even be higher on the list. But it is a great villain, very cool, very creepy. This was a really fun movie to watch and a packed audience when I went to see it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's on my honorable list.
You're number 11, Troy.
My number 11, I don't know the character's name, but it's the blind guy from Don't Breathe.
I think he's just called the blind guy in the first.
Oh, okay. Movie. They didn't name him. All right.
I don't think so, honestly. The blind man, I think he's called.
Okay. Yes. All right.
That's what I saw.
So Stephen Lang, the blind guy, and
yeah, he's on my list too. And I just wrote him down as blind man because I don't think they.
Oh, okay.
Justin, did you have a name for him, or do you just have him as blind man too?
I just have him as blind man, and in fact, that's what. That's what Google says. So I'm just like, okay, I'll trust
I'm the same way. I looked it up. I was like, what is his name? And everything came up the blind man. So I'm like, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know if the kids, when they were planning on going there, if they're like, oh, we gotta, we're gonna go to Mr. Brick-a-Brack's house.
Right. Yeah, I must not. He's actually much higher on my list, but
okay,
same.
I love the character though. He's just like he's a great spooky bastard.
I agree 100%. Number 10.
So let's see. Number 10 is the new Pennywise.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Also on my list.
Ditto.
No, Skarsgård did a good job with that performance. Differentiated it enough from Tim Curry, kind of made it a little spookier, creepier. I like his approach to the character. I can't say that I'm fully satisfied with both movies. I would say part 1 is better than part 2, but still, he makes those movies work.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like them. I like that it's a different portrayal because the first one's so iconic. If you just did like the same thing, you just compare the two. So I also like that his portrayal to me is a little more closer to the book because he has a more otherworldly feel to him. Like it isn't an evil clown. It is an interdimensional monster being that's pretending to be, a clown.
Yeah.
But I love both. I like both versions of the movie, and both versions of the movie.
Too.
I do think that the first part's stronger. I also think in the book, the first half of the book is stronger, or at least the stuff when they're kids is stronger.
So I guess that's just how it's always going to be. So even if someone were to try and remake it a second time, it would be the same issue.
Probably.
Yeah.
I know
but
that
it'd just be like, the first part's already been done and really well, so we're just going to give you a better second half.
Maybe you put more thought into the second part. I know there's talks of them doing a third one, which is interesting, but I don't know if you just go and take the character in a whole other story without the actual source material there. I mean, it's a little arrogant to begin with. I think it's like I'm going to make a story off this like character that's written by Stephen King and just do something else with. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe it would work, but I know other times when they've done similar things, it usually doesn't work.
As Artie Johnson used to say, interesting but stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you have a really cool idea, who knows? Anything can work. But
it's true.
In my mind,
it's too fanfic for me.
Yeah, there was another thing. They're saying they wanted to do a remake of Misery, and some people were like, "Oh, because it was going to be an African American guy," and that's. I mean, there's no reason the character could be any race. There's not really an issue at all. I just thought like that's one you don't really need to remake because like the first one is really spot on.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of King movie versions that aren't and could need a better version, or ones that have just never been made. So instead of remaking ones that already work, I think you should do ones that need a better version.
Yeah, remake Thinner or something, or App Pupil, something they didn't do a very good job.
I mean, like
they haven't been done.
Like they're doing another Salem's Lot, but this time as a theatrical movie, and it's like there's a reason why it's been a miniseries this whole time.
It's so long. A lot of those, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it. I think like go in. We're gonna do part 1 and part 2, or I don't know why you just don't do that stuff as miniseries, especially today. There's so many places you could do it. Like you could do it on HBO or whatever, any of those, and you really give it time. Most of his books are very long.
Oh yeah,
and it's hard to shorten that stuff. You take out a lot of the story though. What makes it interesting? I just read it for the first time.
You don't want to lose like the characters and stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, you could probably almost get 2 seasons out of it.
I bet you could.
Excuse me. Number 10, The Father in Baskin, which is I had on my 13 list of horror movies. I think it's just fantastic. I love The Descent into Hell. It's a wild movie, and the actor plays the father in it. Even just visually, he just stands out. But his delivery of the line, everything, great.
My number 10 is The Father.
Oh, look at this! Troy's old school. His is handwritten. I like it. Very good.
That's great.
I think it's official now. He's the official 10th best villain of the decade.
Yep.
Between the Joneses.
Exactly.
That's it.
All right, number 9. We're breaking in past the top 10 here.
Let's see, so my number 9, and this is actually an edit that I just made today. The Cannibals from Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the last group villains that I'm gonna have on this list. Because
That's a great choice. That movie's just so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie too.
It works as almost like a what that's a good mix of genres. It's like it works as a western, and then it's got like really hardcore villain monsters in it.
Especially that one scene.
Yeah.
In the cave.
Oh yeah.
I like all that guy's movies. I know, he's got some are concerned about his political views. The guy who makes those movies, but his movies are really good. I like that. I like it was a Cell Block, something on Cell Block.
Brawl on Cell Block 99. Yeah. That one's really good.
And then Dragged Across Concrete. Yeah, I like all three.
I still need to see Dragged Along Concrete, but I'm curious enough.
If you like the other two, I think you'll like it.
For sure.
He
seems to be getting a lot of good use out of Vince Vaughn, especially.
Yeah. And he's a guy that I'm always like, I've seen stuff with Vince Vaughn, and I'm not into him. And then there's stuff like that, and I think, oh, he's really good. So.
Yeah, like in Cell Block, especially.
Yeah, he's great in it. Yeah, he's like I can't say like I was a big fan of him in what was it was part of season 2 of
True Detective.
Yeah, but nobody's good in that.
Yeah, I can't really fault him. I think is more than that's got to be like the biggest fall from one season to another. I think.
And then season 3 is really good.
Yeah.
Just season 2 left such a bad taste. Some people didn't go back for 3.
Too bad. Let's see. Number 9 for me is Sue and Ma in the movie Ma. M-A, Ma.
Oh, okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And again.
Thank you.
Great performance. She's a really, because she can play funny well, and you can also feel bad for her. And then she also does well as a villain. So, and I always like a villain that you can feel empathy for. So, Ma, we'll just call her Ma because that's what she tells everyone. Call her me Ma.
Yep. It's a good choice.
Step away from my desk to get a tissue.
All right, no problem. Number 9.
My number 9 is Dean from Get Out.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't remember the family last name, and I could have put them as a group, I guess, but
yeah,
I just went for the patriarch of the family. So
yeah, that's a great movie.
Yep.
Most definitely.
No, it's a fantastic movie.
That one's a weird one that people do. I'm not saying like a big portion, but there are people who get mad like if you bring it up, like they have this weird hatred of it.
Wow,
and some of those people haven't even seen it.
Yeah, I won't jump to conclusions, but I kind of think there's a reason they don't like it or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because they wouldn't have voted for Obama for a third time.
right. Yeah. Exactly. I also think it's weird. All of a sudden, there's this weird thing where people say, like, they don't want like social commentary in a horror movie. Because when Candyman was coming out, like, oh, it's gonna be filled with social commentary. I'm like, have you ever seen the original Candyman or like any horror movie or science fiction? I mean, that's been around since storytelling.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just how much do you? That's what I'm looking for. I guess it just all depends on how you show it, how you display it.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want something that's like preaching to you, but there's a.
Yeah, you don't want that in anything.
No, most genre though. I had arguments on Facebook when people were telling me that like the newer Star Trek was woke or something. I'm like, have you ever seen any Star Trek? Like that's been the message of the whole show.
It's unification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, not the original. So I'm like, the original series. It's like that was
the point.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. I just think I don't know. I don't know what they think. Either they've never seen them or they're just oblivious. I think. So
maybe they saw them when they were kids and it was a little above them then.
That could be too. They just saw like, oh, this is cool. This guy, we got the evil Spock, and they're fighting the monster, the big fake rock and stuff.
Because some people they'll read like Fritz the cat and just see it as like the cat getting high and doing the wild thing, and
Right.
So I guess it depends on how much you want to dive into it, but those are pretty obvious. You would think.
Honestly, I would think the newer Star Trek, not all of it, but there's more action based in a lot of it than like.
Yeah.
So did we get your number 9, Sure? Did we get your number?
Yeah,
9?
that was just mine.
We need
So,
Trista here to
number
keep
8.
me in line because I don't know what's going on.
I know.
Number 8.
So my number 8 is Doomhead from Rob Zombie's 31.
That's an awesome choice because I'm not a big fan of the movie,
Yes.
but Doomhead is amazing in the movie.
Oh,
Fantastic.
I would, now that I think about it, I think actually I would have put him on my list if I thought about it.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the
Troy
movie quite a bit.
is a big fan, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
I think the only
Richard Brake is just so
Yeah, he's
perfect in
great.
that.
Oh, he was great. He was also great as the alchemist in Mandy for that brief scene he was in. But
Oh yeah, yep.
no,
He's
so,
the guy that whenever he pops into something, like he just always has my attention. I love that guy.
yeah. Also Foxy and what is it? Blanking on the name. 3 from Hell.
Mm-hmm. The third
Okay, yep.
in the House of a Thousand Corpses trilogy.
Yeah.
Really, it's funny people consider it, Devil's Rejects trilogy.
Yes, or the Firefly trilogy, or
No,
yes.
yep.
Yeah, no, it's I really enjoyed 31, except for the cliffhanger that they leave you on, or not even a cliffhanger. Just they set up a fight between Sherman Zombie and Doomhead that I got excited for, but as I'm watching it on Shudder and I can see like how much time is left in the movie, I'm like, we're gonna go to credits, aren't we? Damn it!
Yeah, right at the beginning, his opening monologue is just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great actor. Like you said, just his appearance, it always gets your attention. That's a really good pick.
Oh, yeah. Even when he shows up on things I don't expect him to be on, like in Peaky Blinders, I think season 3 or 4, he plays this Russian character, and he's awesome. And it took me a while to even realize who he was.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know he was in Mandy to begin with either. Then he's in that scene, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Richard Brake!" And he popped in something else I was watching not that long ago.
The Mandalorian. He's in
That's
an episode of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 'cause
yeah, that's right.
I watched it all. I kind of binge watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
Jackson loves Tomahawk, by the way.
Bonehawk Tomahawk.
So number 8. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna say the name of the character. I won't say the name of the character because the name of the character spoils the movie. I'll just say the serial killer. I won't say who he is. In Summer of '84.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
It's a great performance, and then for me, the end scene, his little speech at the end of the movie is, I think it's so dark, and I know some people have said it's kind of a cliffhanger. I don't think so. It really just, to me, it shows that terror, isn't just in one moment. It's going to last throughout the rest of this person's life, and I just love the ending, and really great performance, especially the end of the movie.
The movie was really good.
Yeah, I really like it. That's to me, I know people liked it at the time, but I don't really hear too much about it since. But it's really underrated. It's funny because I always kind of talk about, like, there's enough movies about 80s nostalgia with kids, in these horror movies, but I tend to like all of them. So maybe they're
Well, they all seem to be done pretty well.
Yeah, they are.
There's not a lot of
for
them.
a while there was like a million of them, but I guess a lot of the filmmakers are probably like my age and grew up during that era. So
That sounds more like a you problem.
could be, but some of it sometimes, like Stranger Things. I like Stranger Things, but sometimes I'm watching it and it's just like so much 80s nostalgia, and I'm like, come on, like because for example, Day of the Dead, I like Day of the Dead, but like they weren't showing it it barely played anywhere, and they show it like everyone's going to see this movie all the time, like it's this big blockbuster, and it was hard to get tickets to it. I'm like, no one went to see it, like it barely played anywhere, and then that's why it was, everyone went and got the VHS tape, and then really no one even liked it until like years later. It doesn't matter. There's just it gets a little bit on my nerves on some of the nostalgia in it that doesn't really hold true to me.
Which I will say, I do also agree with you on Stranger Things. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, it's a little much. And like they had like these elaborate costumes of like the Ghostbusters, and I'm like, where the hell would they have got this? Like,
it's like if they had action figures that look like or decorations look like this when they probably didn't back then.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now they make stuff because it's again, I think it's people like my age who like, man, I wish we had these really awesome figures when I was a kid. Let's make them now. And then it's mostly, adults who buy them. But we didn't have a lot of that wild stuff back then. But I still like this. This is some stuff that gets a little much for me. That's all. Yeah. And then there for a while, everything was just 80s.
Oh, definitely. It was this nostalgia wave, just like in Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah. I do think sometimes when people in 20 years are going to let's make a movie that takes place in the early 2020s. What did they do then? Oh, it's all about 80s nostalgia. All right, number 8, Troy.
My number 8 is Hannibal Lecter from
nice.
The TV series Hannibal. Mads Nicholson, and he's just so good in that show.
I agree. It's great. Especially I'm not big on the last season, but the first season is awesome.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The second season's really good too. And that's one where kind of like the Pennywise thing. It's just really we have this iconic version of this character, and it's like someone else going to play it, and he takes his own twist on it, and it really works. I honestly think I was just say all three. I know there's actually a fourth version, I guess, if you do Hannibal Rising. We'll skip that one, but the three adult versions of Hannibal, I think, are all really good. And the first movie there, I think, is really underrated. It's starting to get a little
Manhunter.
Yeah.
People starting to talk about it a little more, but that's a great pick though, Troy, because that really I think
I just think
he was around and had cool roles, but that really made him like a big star, I think. Imagine.
Yep.
But yeah, that's great. Such a stylized show too. And that was shocking.
I loved it
when we were watching it on its first run, that it was on network TV, because it was pretty graphic.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind too. And like you said, it introduced me to Mads, and now I can't get enough of the guy.
Yeah, and they always talk about, hoping to do another season, but as the years go by, probably after a while, it's like people are off doing other things. Like, it's probably not going to happen, but who knows? I mean, we had another season of Fuller House, so who knows? I'd rather have another season of Hannibal. But...
Amen to that.
Let's see. Number 7.
My number 7 is Krampus.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
It's also one of my honorable mentions.
Just such a presence in the movie. And just the design of the character. Wearing this Santa mask, and then you just see like little suggestions of what's underneath, and it's, I love that character. I love that movie. It's great. There's not much more I can say about it.
Yeah, but no, it's a great villain. Very cool look. It's a fun movie, fun movie to watch. And it's also that adds a lot of creepy factor of like you said, the Santa mask. It's almost like the Pennywise, the otherworldly version of Santa, pretend to be Santa. Number 7 for me has been mentioned, the Armitage family of Get Out, and Troy had it on his list as well. So it's made all 3 of ours. Number 7 for you, Troy. It's Troy frozen. Either Troy's frozen or he's shocked.
Huh. I don't know, he said his eyes closed for a good little while.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I think we're getting him back here.
I think so. Yep, looks like it.
All right, I missed your number 7, Neil. Everything froze up on.
Yeah, we still can't see. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
The Armitage family of Get Out. Yeah, you.
oh, okay.
And you were for a few seconds. I really thought you were just sitting there like in awe of the pick.
I was just mesmerized by your pick.
It's like we all got the same thing on our list.
My number 7.
Yeah.
Is my second to last person from a TV series. And this one, I don't know. I might get vetoed by both of you guys on because it's not actually a horror series. But my number 7 is Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones, who's the most despicable villain maybe I've ever seen.
If I was just picking villains, that would definitely be up there because I always on the show, like I usually like not root for the villains necessarily, but like that's like
this is definitely the uncool villain.
Very few of his villains
prick.
like you really want to see get killed, and that's one of them. It's like him and the guy from Dirty Harry, I think, and
Scorpio.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that is I think
and Prince Joffrey too.
Oh,
you know,
that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, actually.
All right, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I also think the show
would be Ramsay Bolton is Roose Bolton's bastard, and
the guy
feeds a guy his penis, and you know,
it is pretty horrific.
Just a real nice guy in general. Yeah, he's a total prick.
Yeah.
So
I think you could totally. I know it's fantasy technically, but you could totally consider that in the horror realm. I mean,
it's true.
You've got zombies.
Oh yeah, you do have zombies and stuff. Yeah,
and it brings back Richard Brake as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. So that's a win-win.
Which I will say briefly, because you brought up Joffrey. Spoilers for anyone that still hasn't seen the show. When Joffrey finally dies, I actually saw that episode on the weekend of my birthday. And so that was like a nice little birthday gift to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was immediately followed by like a downer moment when it's like, oh, but now everybody thinks Tyrion did it.
Right.
Shit.
But yeah, that's who I actually was. But both villains, that's 2 villains in that show that are really like hateable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, George R.R. Martin could make some really despicable characters, and then he just kill off everybody alike. So
yeah.
So he might be a villain too.
Yeah,
George R.R. Martin could be on my list.
It was funny. A few years ago when I was heavier, I probably shouldn't have said that part, but I posted a picture, and I said I was going to play George R.R. Martin in the biopic. And he retweeted it, which I thought was very funny. Then I thought, I hope he doesn't think I was serious. The number 6.
So my number 6 is Howard Stambler from 10 Cloverfield Lane, John Goodman's character.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't think of that. That's an awesome pick.
I didn't either.
I love John Goodman anyway. That's maybe his best performance. So that's great.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I love that movie up until the very end. But up till that, it's great. I think it's the best of that series, if you want to call it, a series.
No, definitely. The thing that just impressed me right away was the fact that, there was 2 things. The fact that it starts like the first 10 or so minutes without dialogue from the main character. And then, it's all visual storytelling. And then once it gets in that bunker, it's just in that bunker. You don't go outside. Everything's very just like, it's just in that moment. And I love it. And it's such a stark contrast from, Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better, much more interesting characters in Cloverfield too. I remember watching Cloverfield the first time we were me and Troy in the theater, and I just turned and was like, man, I hope these people start getting killed soon by the monster.
Yeah, they were the most annoying group of people.
Yeah.
It's a group of Ramsay Boltons right there.
Pretty much. The best part of it for me were the small monsters. I did think that was a cool scene when they're underground.
Oh yeah.
And they have the light and you can see them. That was pretty creepy. By the way, Jackson says he worked once with Jonathan Demme. Beautiful soul, God rest his soul. My number 6 is Gary and Steve and Cabin in the Woods. It's like they're just doing their job.
Nice.
And that's just like, I love that movie. I know it's probably kind of cliche, but
it's a great movie.
It's a really great movie. And I always really liked it. I think those characters are my favorite part of the movie. They're just kind of they're office workers and in charge of working for like evil, basically. Evil. But also doing
trying to keep the balance, right? Yeah.
It's like you think they're evil in a way, but at the same time they're the small sacrifice instead of the whole world ending. It's probably a lot better.
And then once Bradley Whitford comes back on the list.
Yeah. And then because the end, like, I know it's good they stand up for themselves, but it probably like ends everyone's existence. So maybe it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And not even good for the individual because you're going to end up, like everything's getting killed dead.
Yeah.
So you don't really win either way.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
That one's the one that deserves the hype.
It's a clever flick. I like it.
Your number 6.
My number 6 is Dennis from Split. Who
I think
is such a great character.
Yeah. That's
and he deserved better than the final movie there.
It was great. I didn't even think about it. Great performance too. All the different.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some movie was on the other day and it was him and.
I really love that movie too. I think that might be my favorite like Shyamalan movie.
I think this is my favorite modern one.
Yeah.
For sure. Probably Sixth Sense, but it is really good though. But
yeah.
I was watching. I don't know even what it was. I was just turning around or whatever. And it was a movie with him and Chris Pratt, and they both looked like such little kids. And I was like, wow, that's weird. Can't remember what it was. Not like kids, but like, they were like probably like early 20s. I don't remember what it was, though, because I didn't watch it. Number 5.
So my number 5 is Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep.
Oh.
Nice. I love that character.
Oh, yeah. As soon as, not going to lie, I do have a bit of a crush on Rebecca Ferguson whenever I see her in a movie. So seeing her in the first few minutes of that movie sold me. But also, I'm trying to think, has she been a villain in anything else that you can think of?
Probably
it's definitely the first that I've seen.
Yeah. It's not like it's somebody you think of as playing a villain normally.
No, and she knocked it out of the park that first go around. It was great. And I remember getting to see that movie a week before it actually came out because Fandango did like that promotion where you could see it early. And so that was, I saw it the day before Halloween, so that was a fun time.
Yeah, there was at Walmart they have these box sets. I tried to get the Phantasm, all 5 Phantasms, like for $15 or $16. Really good deal. But one of them I thought was cool. It's a double pack of Dr. Sleep and the original Shining, but it was sold out too. But I thought that was it was pretty wild double pack. And again, we're talking about maybe we'll never get we'll see another season of Hannibal. We saw a sequel for the Shining like 40 years later. Number 5. That's one I've not read the book of. I should read I've never read Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep's a great book.
Number 5 is the Babadook.
Nice.
I like top hats.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, this is very cool. Well, what else can you say as we said earlier? But yeah, Babadook is very cool villain, very cool monster. It could fit on if we did monsters or villain.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, he's got that like awesome look about him, and just like That whole movie's just so disturbing anyway.
Another one I
very
think
dark.
that lives up to the hype. Another
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
sometimes people say they don't make good horror movies anymore, and I always kind of disappointed when people say that because honestly, there's been some great horror movies in the last 10
There
years.
have been.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people don't give it, they just want to watch what they grew up with, which is fine. I watch a lot of that stuff too, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. You just gotta, check it out.
Yeah,
What
do
is
like
it?
a little searching and
Yeah, go back
Actually,
and
I think-
explore the 13 of the best of the decade, and you can check these movies
Yeah.
out.
But even now, like just seeing a list of things coming out for October, like has me all excited.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we went live. Justin, there's some cool stuff coming out in October. Antlers.
Without doubt.
Oh yeah. Which I've been dying to see for the longest time now.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year, and then it was pushed back. It's premiering at, I want to say, Beyond Fest. It's at one of the major festivals.
It is at Beyond
Okay.
Fest.
Yeah,
It's on their schedule.
and then I think it's right at the theaters right after that. So, what is your number 5, Troy?
My number 5 has been mentioned before, and it's Pennywise from the new version of it. And Skarsgård kicks ass as Pennywise. I love him in it.
He may still be on my list too when we get to the top few here. Now into the top 4.
So my number 4 is Dennis from Split.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Yes. Which I must say, my favorite iteration of Dennis is Hedwig. Which I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's just especially when he does that breakdance. It's
Yeah. I like to watch
Yep.
it again. I
And then
really
you're
loved it.
waiting for the beast.
Yeah. I remember watching with Troy at the theater, and I didn't know what to expect going in, but
Yep.
great movie. And really, it's well written and everything too, but that performance, without his performance, really elevates the movie.
the movie would be
Jackson
insane.
says,
Oh, yeah.
Ramsay Bolton was so evil, but I watched him in another series with Ian McKellen, and it was a comedy. Awesome all-around actor.
Whoa. All right, good. I'm glad he's kind of branching out because the only other thing I saw him in was The Inhumans, and he was Maximus the Mad, and the character's pretty similar. So I was hoping he wasn't going to be pigeonholed into just miserable, creepy guys all his life.
That's true. That was like notoriously bad, right? The Inhumans when it came.
A lot of people didn't like it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I don't know.
And it's got Lockjaw in it, and I'm a sucker for Lockjaw. I'll forgive a lot just to see, a big 800-pound dog that can teleport with a little tuning fork on its head.
Right. Let's see. Number 4 for me is a Lockjaw. No, some Ray Smiley and the Devil.
Maximus the Mad.
Ray Smiley and the Devil's Candy.
Oh, nice.
A great movie. Awesome portrayals of the villain because it's a really horrendous villain, which does horrendous stuff. So you could easily go into that territory of the guy from Dirty Harry or the Prince, like someone you would, you cannot like root for in any way or have sympathy or empathy for. But his performance really brings empathy to a character that does horrible things, which to me makes a great villain.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried to get him on the show, but no luck as of yet. What is your number 4, Troy? By the way, if people have not seen Devil's Candy, I highly recommend it.
I'm one of those people.
I think, isn't it made by the same guy that made The Loved Ones, right?
I don't know about that. You could be right. I'll look it up real quick while we go to
I thought it was. My number 4 is one of those movies that snuck up on me that I didn't expect anything from, and I ended up loving it. And I thought the main character was great in it, and it's Luke, the little kid in Better Watch Out.
Oh,
I thought
nice.
it's an excellent movie, and he's great in it.
Yeah, that's actually my honorable mentions. I think that's I'm a big fan of holiday horror films, or Christmas horror films, and you are right, by the way. It's the same director of The Loved Ones. Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, that movie I love.
Better watch out. It's
Better watch out.
fantastic.
Yep. And he just shows you how evil like a young character can be that you may not expect.
Number 3.
My number 3 is also Luke from Better Watch Out.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was great when I heard it was your number 4. I was like, yeah, no, that was another one that surprised me. And I think I said this before on the Christmas episode that other than the title and having seen the poster, I knew nothing about the movie going in. So when it took the turn that it did catch me off guard.
Yeah. Which it really, I know
When
it's
you're
hard to
expecting
do.
like a home invasion kind of setup.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but when you can go into movies without really knowing anything, to me, the movie has to be good too, but it really adds to the experience. Or maybe just not give away the whole movie in your trailer would be good.
If only.
Yeah.
3, I think
We see so many like that now.
Yep, I remember. I mentioned this before, but I remember when I think it was the most recent remake of Carrie came out, and they showed really like a 2-minute version of the whole story in the trailer. I remember even watching it, and I joked like, "Are they even going to show like when the blood falls on?" And they did. They showed they showed really the entire story of the movie in 2 minutes. I was like, I don't get it.
Then you don't need to see it.
Yeah. That's like, I assume that a lot of people, but not everyone has seen Carrie. Otherwise, why would you remake it?
Yep.
3 has been mentioned, I think, by everyone now. Pennywise in chapter 1. I put chapter 1, but he's great in both of them. Number 3 for you, Troy.
Justin.
I thought he just did his 3.
Oh, I did do it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. He had Luke as well.
Oh. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm
4
completely confused now.
Yeah, he was year 4 and his number 3.
That's what got me all confused, I guess.
Again,
my number 3 is Martin from Human Centipede 2.
Oh, awesome! I don't know why I don't have him on my list. I just thought
it's such a great character, and Lawrence Harvey does the most brilliant job with him.
I agree.
Just a great character.
Yeah, he should definitely be on my list. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of the first 2 Human Centipede movies. And I love Martin. I love Dr. Hyder is pre this last decade.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martin, great villain, great performance. He even fooled.
And he doesn't speak
Roger
the entire movie. It's crazy. Yep. And us.
Yeah. I know I mentioned before, but Roger Ebert, everyone, not to say anything about the man, he's passed away, but in his review, he said that Tom Six found a mentally handicapped guy on the street and put him in this movie. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And then he's at a convention we're at, and I'm like, man, I don't know what to expect here. And he's like this really well-educated guy. And I was like, what the hell? It's a pretty bad thing to get wrong.
Dapper little British guy, and we didn't expect it all.
Let's see. Number 2.
Blind Man from Don't Breathe.
I don't have a handwritten note. Mine's a notepad virtually. But if I was like Troy, I could flip it around, I would show you my number 2 is also the Blind Man in Don't Breathe.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Very nice.
Synchronicity.
Yes. He was almost my number 1. I had him back and forth because he is a great villain. And then that movie, it starts off, you don't think he is a villain. Then it has a really wild turn in the movie.
Which is spoiled in the trailer. No. I'm thinking of the main plot. I forgot about.
Oh,
later.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like it's got 2 turns. You got that is the big twist, and then it's got even another twist after that.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah, which I have to admit makes the sequel very hard to get into. to take this guy and now he's the hero of the second one. It's like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. You're number 2.
Yeah, you definitely have some issues.
Yeah, it's weird.
My number 2 is also a clown. So it's Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Ooh, I still need to see that one.
I love me some Art the
you
Clown.
definitely have to see it. Big fan of Art.
And so I have 2 characters that don't speak. So,
well, sometimes that works for a villain.
Yep.
Frankenstein doesn't speak in the first movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The little before the last decade, but Craig Lindbergh says Dr. Doom, the original Roger Corman movie. That's not last decade, but that is a fun villain.
That is.
Yep.
Honestly, I think that's the best version of Dr. Doom that's been in a movie.
And the Fantastic Four in general.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, it's actually like a legit fun
So-
movie. Like it's not like a great movie, but it is fun anyway and enjoyable.
And you can stay awake during it, which is better than the most recent version of the Fantastic Four, which is tough movie to stay through.
And
Especially,
what was that?
I was going to say, especially the fight scene where the guards come in, and then as soon as the Fantastic Four gets up to fight, it just does a spiral, and then the guys are all knocked out, and the Fantastic Four is in the uniforms.
Yep, it's that's not a good movie.
But it's fun. It's
It
so
is
much
fun.
fun.
It is fun. The
That one is. Yeah,
yeah.
I meant the most recent one, like just so bad.
I like the end when it's Mr. Fantastic's waving like by in the back.
Oh.
And it's like one of those hands like you used to get.
Oh.
But I interviewed the Dr. Doom a few years ago on Without Your Head. The guy played Dr. Doom. It's a really fun interview on the website. And the guy who played the Human Torch in the Roger Corman one. Is when the documentary came out, which is great. If Doomed, I think it's called. It's a documentary about that movie.
I heard about it. I still need to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget to check it out.
I think Troy may be frozen again. Hopefully he's back here to give us his number 1, because we are down to the number 1. The number
The
1.
nitty gritty.
Number 1 villain of the decade.
Black Phillip.
Nice. He's on my honorable list.
That's a great villain.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's an animal, but I mean, it's an animal that's also, the devil just taking a different form. And I mean, what can you say about a movie where an animal really has so much resonance in such a very downplayed horror movie? And I'll still never forget watching that.
I want to know where they found that goat. He's perfect.
I mean,
He's
really
just got
scary.
the best look about him.
Yeah, and it's just a goat, but they make it scary, with everything going on.
And I heard he was very hard to train, that goat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just makes me, I just will never forget the second time I watched it was at a friend's place. I had brought the DVD over and we're watching it. And during that scene where Thomason's father comes out and he's just looking at her. And then in that close up, you just suddenly hear the dun, the jolt music. And then all of a sudden Black Phillip stabbed him in the chest with his horn. And just my buddy's reaction at that moment where he just like literally freaked out. I was like, no, it was great.
Yeah. Let's see. That's a great pick, Black Phillip. I actually wore my Black Phillip.
It is. I love that one.
The decade of the best movies. My number 1 is Troy's number 2, Art the Clown. I'm picking him as villain of the year. He moved around on my list, but then
Nice. Excellent.
it's a classic horror villain. He's what we have. I mean, he's like, if I think about modern like icons or he's the only real modern slasher that's like going to be really memorable, I think, like of the last decade, and just a great all around villain. So Art the Clown, my number one villain.
Agreed.
Well, he's
Yep.
memorable enough that even someone like me who has yet to see Terrifier remembers him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
looking
did a
forward
lot of swapping back and forth with like my top 4 the last couple of days of. I think everybody's gone from number 1 to number 4 and back again.
Right.
But I went with another unredeemable kind of just evil prick character for my top one. And it's Brady Hartsfield from Mr. Mercedes.
Oh, I've not watched this.
I don't know that one at all.
See, a great book by King, and the TV show I love. It's what you should do with a book into a series instead of what they did for Nosferatu. They really kept the source material really close to where it was. Real uncomfortable character, but a real like nondescript dude in his real life. Got an interesting relationship at home with his mom. But Brady Hartsfield, definitely evil villain as my number one.
Nice. I actually just not rented it, but took this the audiobook out at for the first time I have a library card, and I noticed they have a big selection of audiobooks, and they had Mr. Mercedes. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. And then but I need to get a CD player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe even like a weird Walkman or something.
Yeah, I thought they'd be like dirt cheap. So I looked them up on Amazon. But
yeah.
I figured no one buys
these. They're like a collectible thing.
Yeah. So I guess but then also I don't think my computer even has a CD player on it either. Like I don't think it has I remember when I first got it and I was confused that you couldn't put like anything in it. And I remember my Tyler, the webmaster, he's like, what era are you living in? Why do you need like discs for your computer? I don't know.
Giving a buddy of mine. I was gonna say, I just remember buying the Jurassic Park soundtrack and then giving a buddy of mine the CD to rip the tracks from.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, and this was back in 2013. So he's like, I'm like, where's the CD drive? It's like, this doesn't have one. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I actually picked up his laptop and looked around. And I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, my laptop doesn't either. It's like it's a new laptop. They just thought, I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know. I mean, what do you do with a CD? They had I was at a thrift store the other day and they had a bunch of, I almost bought them just because I thought they were cool. A bunch of movie soundtracks. They had Cape Fear, He-Man, the old Masters of the Universe.
Oh, wow.
It's a bunch of really oddball ones, but I thought they would be fun just to have them. I could put them up here, I guess. But
I mean, I still got my CDs. I listen to them in my car.
Yeah, no, I would listen to them. I need to get a CD player. No. I think I could get like an external CD drive for the computer, I guess. But I'd like one that I could walk around with to listen to.
Yeah.
By the way, the BBC series was called Vicious with Ian McKellen.
Oh, okay.
Was that your number one, Troy? You gave your number one?
Yeah, Brady Hartsfield. That was.
And did you have any honorable mentions that no one has mentioned yet? I have a few. If we're talking about TV, I had Twisty the Clown. And my personal favorite villain from TV is actually the Yellow King from True Detective.
Great choice, yeah. Yep. I had Mr. Wednesday from American Gods. And I think Gollum needs a shout out from The Hobbit because
that's a good one.
Great villain, and
so
he's one of those honorable.
I was thinking Lord of the Rings, but he's in The Hobbit too.
Yeah, one of the few good things about The Hobbit.
Amen to that.
Which is one of those, don't ever take like a 200-page kids book and try to make 3 movies out of it. Don't do that.
Jackson McCord says he's sad he didn't make our list. So I'm sad he didn't either. But honorable mention, I actually do have a few here. Ones we mentioned a lot of these, but so I won't go over them. But I don't even know the character. But Patrick Stewart in Green Room.
Ooh, that was a very good one.
Yeah,
That was a good one. Yeah.
Here. The kids in Goodnight Mommy.
Oh yeah.
In a character I don't want to say the name because it gives away the movie, but the villain in Echoes of Fear with Trista Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Which I gotta say, I'm just now noticing the full-out Ramsay on your hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah, from Blood Feast.
Yeah, these are all my favorite characters.
Oh, nice.
Weird monsters. So it's very personal to me. Hannibal Lecter painted this.
Oh,
And
nice.
some I think you're the first person to ever notice that that's Fuad Ramsey's. A lot of people.
Oh, that's
I even
great.
have Martin on here, and I didn't have him on my list. Then I'm not sure why.
oh.
And then you got Nathan Grantham from Creepshow on there.
Yep.
Pumpkinhead. You got the baby from Dead Alive or Brain Dead, depending on what you call it.
Yep.
You got some hobgoblins, I think.
I think they're the ghoulies.
Ah,
Got the Zuni doll. I saw that one go by.
So a lot of people, no one ever gets Fuad Ramsey's. They also don't get this one too often.
I'm trying. It's familiar.
Hard to notice, but if you can know, he has a human table that might help. It's a guy from Bloodsucking Freaks.
Oh,
I've not seen it. It's a bizarre movie.
Then you got Blade from Puppet Master.
oh yeah.
Baby from It's Alive.
Yeah. This is from
The
Thing.
Thing.
This one's a little hard to make out too, but it's the guy from The Stuff when
when he vomits out the stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
This guy here is maybe a little hard to make out too.
Reanimator.
Yes. This movie
Oh,
makes
okay.
2 appearances here because that's their
Oh
mom.
yeah, Fluffy from Creepshow.
And of course, you have to have Belial
Just in
has to
case.
be on here. Yeah, so a lot of cool monsters I like. So, by the way, so in the chat here is the villain from Stakeland. Very cool. So, by the way, if you ever want to come on the show, message me, Jackson, and we'll set up. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Jackson says I love David Howard Thornton art. Yeah, great guy. Agree. We've had him on the show I think twice. Yeah, twice.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Really nice guy, and great guy actually on Facebook too, who is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, which I like to see. It was funny actually. Someone was attacking him on Facebook, and they were attacking. It was funny because they were trying to school him on Art the Clown, and the guy didn't realize that he was actually Art the Clown. And he thought he was like,
Oh, that's too funny.
That he saw the sequel, and the guy's like, well, it's not even released yet, buddy. So like, I don't know. But it was very fun. The gang from Mandy, which I think might have made. Did that make your list? Like,
No.
I love Mandy, but it was weird to like kind of put the villains. I didn't, it doesn't have like one particular.
Yeah, some things were like that you couldn't really pick a specific villain from a movie that I loved.
And I really think there's only one real villain in Midsummer, and that's I don't know if his name Pell or Pele or whatever his name, but he's the actual villain because he brings the kids there. No one like.
Oh yeah,
know what happened. So I think he's the actual only villain.
Well, in a certain sense, maybe not the villain, but just really horrible people, the boyfriend and
that's
his
true.
friends.
That's true.
Well, people are usually the villain in a lot of things. People just suck. Yeah,
humanity is the villain.
Humanity's usually the villain.
Right. All right. Well, this has been very fun. Was there any honorable mentions that we missed that you had, Justin?
No, none that. Well, you know what? The masked men from You're Next.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
That kind of started the trend of people. A lot of things after that would have like the animal masks.
Yeah, just like Queen of the Dead, my short film. But I saw that after I made Queen of the Dead, though. So.
Oh, okay. That happens a lot in things. It's funny because I've been doing a lot of interviews for Shriekfest, and there was two in particular that were really about. Well, two they were about viruses, and I assume both of them made them during the pandemic. The one was like almost like spot on, Zealandia, and it's a dystopian future. It was a New Zealand filmmaker, and it's about New Zealand being the only country where this virus doesn't hit. And so I just, like this guy made this, but he did, and he made it a year before the pandemic. And then like, not only, there's a pandemic and the virus, New Zealand was like one of the only countries that didn't have shutdowns because they didn't get, COVID. And it was like really strange that he made this before COVID. So anyway, the point was like, it's weird coincidences like that.
Oh yeah, well, you see that kind of stuff every now and then. Like, I think I had mentioned to you when I was listening to the audiobook of I don't know which one it is in the series, but one of the Repairman Jack books, Conspiracies, F. Paul Wilson, I think he wrote it in 99 or 2000. And there's all kinds of stuff with these weird conspiracy people. And there's a 666 like microchip and like tracking devices and all these crazy things that like I hear about a lot like over the last year or so. It's like, wow, Wilson was on the cutting edge of crazy at the time.
Mm-hmm. Weird stuff. So that was cool. We look forward to hearing Trista's list on a future show here. We'll miss Trista on the show. But I know she tried to get here, but we all miss her.
We do.
Yeah, I saw her kind of peeking through, but not quite making it through.
Yeah. But you can get the new Treacherous Trista shirt, the 8-bit shirt. It's up on Slasher Man.
I love it.
And you can also get the cool Treacherous is it Treacherberries? I forget my own name we came up with.
I think it was.
Those Caraberries and forget what the Treacherous ones are. Flakes, Treacherous Flakes, I think. So
Okay.
That's probably not right either. But you can get the cool, all kinds of cool shirts, basically, is what I'm saying. Without Your Head merchandise on TeePublic and on Amazon. And we've got a bunch of cool interviews from Shriekfest. We're going to have a whole bunch of ones coming up from a bunch of other festivals. And next week here, hopefully it'll be on the live show. If not on the live show, it'll probably be recorded earlier that day. But we'll have Tom Savini and the director of his documentary on. That'll be very fun.
Oh, too cool.
And a bunch of other guests lined up. So subscribe here, hit the bell icon, and then you'll get all the notifications every time we're live and every time we upload a new show. And we'll have Justin back because we have a couple months left here to finish out the decade of decapitation. I think he thought best female lead. That's a good one. We'll probably do. And if anyone out there has ideas for anything else that would make a good 13 list for the decade, post it on the group. And then to start the new year, we'll have our 13 best movies of the year. So you can catch up on all of the movies.
Forward to that.
Make sure you have a full list.
Definitely. I got some work to do.
you got like 3 months to do it.
Sure.
Plus, there's probably there's going to be
have the top 500 now.
Some coming out in October that that they hopefully will make the list. Who knows? But contenders for the list.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else anyone has they want to talk about? Check out Malignant. I recommend seeing it in the theater.
As do I. I loved *Malignant* as well. I kind of want to see it a second time this month or this coming month, just because it's a horror movie that's out in October.
Yeah, I've seen it twice in the
Oh
theater.
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. The first time really took me by surprise, and I had just as much fun watching it the second time. It's a really just fun. Honestly, if you like crazy 80s wild horror movies that would have been like on VHS, to me it's really like watching like something from that era, but in modern day, like with a big budget. It's a very just fun, crazy movie.
There's even one little character in your hat that is very similar to a certain character in *Malignant*.
I agree. He might be on this side or that side. I think he's towards the back, so you can't really see him. But yeah, I agree. Even the kind of setup of the movie is kind of from that. But yeah, I loved it.
True.
And it's really a movie, I think, especially if you can see it. I don't want to recommend going to like packed theaters, but if you go to a theater with people that are gonna interact with the movie, it's a very fun experience.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing it where the audience in the corner were clapping and cheering, and there was everybody else that was spread out. And as I was walking out of the theater, is when I heard two guys in front of me say, "That movie was terrible."
Yeah, it's definitely not a forgettable film. I've seen many people don't like it at all, and there's people like me and Justin who really like it. And to me, that's good. It's better than something you just watch and you're like, whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, if it's forgettable.
Yeah. There's something, I'll be honest, there's something fun to me about watching it with sort of a mainstream audience who think they're like watching something from The Conjuring, and it's something completely different. Yeah. It's a very fun movie.
It is. It's insane, crazy. That finale just.
Oh yeah, what from the prison scene on? It's a wild ride. Yeah. Honestly, even the opening kind of gives you a hint of what kind of movie you're in for.
It's very true.
Yeah. It was fun watching a second time, knowing what's happening, because then I picked up on like some hints and stuff. It was fun. Stephen Butler, great show. Thank you, Stephen. Jackson will message. Jackson says he saw that guy was trying to school art on Facebook. That was hilarious. Yeah, it was really funny. Craig, I believe, is in the area. By the way, Craig, our friend Craig, Creepy Craig Lindbergh, we're gonna need to get him back on the show sometime. Maybe he can join us for a 13. But he
oh, absolutely.
He worked on the new season of American Horror Story. Did some of the makeup. The one that was filmed.
On American Horror Story. Yeah.
I think he's doing something else.
This new season's a lot of fun lately.
Yeah, I've heard a lot.
I gotta tell you. It's got a really clever setup to it. I like it a lot.
I'll check it out. I've heard a lot of good things. All right, so I'm gonna go see the movie. I'm going to the movies tomorrow. I recommend everyone go. Again, be safe and everything, but support these movies. So if you don't want to go to the theater, rent some movies, but support film.
Amen to that.
Always important.
Get wear your mask. Go and enjoy some films in the theater. Just be safe. To me, it's a cool experience. All right. Anything else, buddies, pals, amigos, friends, compadres?
I think I'm good.
All right. We will see you guys.
I think I am too. This has been a lot of fun, Miss Trista, but we will see her again.
Yeah. And I've been updating since we did a lot of interviews the last couple of weeks for Shriekfest and for other things that popped up. I was behind on the audio podcast, but I've been updating that. So if you subscribe and you see like 20 shows pop up, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry that your iPod's filled with audio. I don't know.
The bounty is coming. Yep.
And subscribe to the new iTunes, because I don't want to go over the whole story, but for some reason it started 2 popped up and they won't let me merge them. And the problem is that one updates and the other one stopped updating months ago, but then that one has all the subscribers. So anyway, subscribe to the new iTunes. It's just a kind of a pain in the ass, but who knows? All right, that's enough of that. Let's get out of here and enjoy the upcoming October and Halloween, folks. And thanks again, Justin, for joining us.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank
now
you very much.
Justin's
Always
cat
great
can
having you here.
Justin's cat can get the spot back now.
Oh yeah, I can finally take this thing down. Yeah, no, it
Nice
was-
comfy spot.
It was a fun show. Thanks for having me on here, Neil and Troy.
Always a pleasure.
Happy October Eve.
Yes.
Very good. Just
Woohoo.
a couple hours, well, a few hours for us, probably more than that.
All
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Catch y'all
Thank you.
later.